Welcome to Modern Stoic Insights. It takes place in quiet. You say something innocuous, like a simple statement that is easygoing and even thoughtful, but then you notice that her eyes are cold. The grin fades a little too quickly, the tone changes, and the discussion becomes lifeless and stale. You are correct when you speculate that she could be preoccupied or that she may have received a text from you. It was you, or more specifically, what you said. Most guys believe that they lose women because they aren't attractive enough, wealthy enough, or alpha enough. But the truth is that attraction fades like a gradual leak that goes undetected until you're left gazing at a woman who used to be passionate about you, but is suddenly not feeling it. She remained interested in what you had to say. There are 7 sentences. Men say these 7 harmless little landmines every day without realizing they're igniting their own attraction, and women will never admit it. Instead, they will simply pull back and lose the spark because it has nothing to do with your appearance, your job title, your cologne, your car, or your confidence. It's what you say when you're making an excessive effort to engage. High worth. In this video, I'm going to show you the 7 things high-value men never say to women, not because they're playing games, but because they understand this harsh law. Men know this. They speak less, but say more. They understand the difference between mystery and validation, between power and approval, between presence and performance. Hold on tight, because if you've ever seen a lady leave you for no apparent reason, it wasn't because of her attitude or poor timing. Rather, it was because you opened your mouth and uttered one of these 7 things. Every syllable you say either intensifies or kills attraction. Oh, and before we go any further, I have a free booklet just for you. The Female Mind Control Handbook. It explains the hidden secrets to making any woman need you. Grab it now. Let's start with the first thing. I'll do everything for you. It sounds lovely, doesn't it? Romantic films love to romanticize the selfless guy. Link in the description or pinned comment. The line, "The desperate knight crawling through mud for her validation," is tragic rather than romantic in the world of high-value men because, as you can see, the moment you say it, you have already betrayed yourself by placing her on a throne that even she didn't ask for. It screams neediness, and neediness is suffocating rather than attractive. Let's examine why a woman prefers a guy who selects her while being completely in control of his own destiny rather than one who needs her. It conveys to her that I'm willing to lose myself for your approval. I'll do everything for you. The irony is that she loses interest in you when you lose yourself, because if you do anything for her, it means you are worthless. A high-value man has boundaries and a mission that doesn't alter depending on how a woman feels that day. He isn't cruel, but his immobility is what makes him magnetic. Think of it this way. A low-value man sacrifices his purpose for her attention, whereas a high-value man sacrifices her attention to stay focused. This is not arrogance. Rather, it's masculine clarity, and women sense this not only consciously, but also biologically deep within their guts. They know which man would sacrifice himself for them, and which man is too content to beg. Therefore, if you're still texting, "I'd do anything just to make you happy. Just tell me what you need. I'll be whatever you want." Pause. Examine yourself in the mirror, because high worth men never say, "I'll do anything for you," and they construct rather than shapeshift. Second, are you upset with me? Yes, it is the quintessential anxious male action. The lady who should be there won't urge him to sacrifice himself in order to retain her. Something doesn't seem right. Maybe she's a bit reserved or didn't reply back right away. In such case, what do you do? Send the message, or are you upset with me? Over the macho frame, boom game just broken. To be totally honest, when a high-value man is aware of distance, therefore he doesn't freak out or require continual confirmation since he already knows who he is. However, the question, "Are you mad at me?" It conveys a lot more than you realize. I need your emotional approval to feel stable. Your moods control my self-worth. Please don't leave me. You've just handed her the steering wheel of your identity. Now, let's flip this. High worth. Men are aware of changes, but they don't react emotionally to them. They don't assume the worst, and they definitely don't start questioning her emotionally like a scared child. They understand that not everything needs to be about them, and that sometimes women purposefully test you with silence to see if you'll fold, beg, or shrink in order to appease them. Most men fail the test because they rush to fix, explain, or apologize for sins they didn't even commit. But the high-value man leans back, watches, and lets the tension do its work, because there's nothing more potent than asking, "Are you mad at me?" Yes. Silence. When you feel the urge to text her that weak line, ask yourself if you are being driven by insecurity or by strength, because believe me, a woman doesn't fall for a man who needs to be told she's not angry. Instead, she falls for the man who isn't afraid. If she's thing 3, let's get straight to the point. Nothing unnerves a manipulative test more than your calm, unwavering presence, and nothing attracts genuine feminine energy faster than a man who doesn't fold. Real power doesn't announce itself. It just enters the room and is felt when you declare, "I'm not like the others." If you have to say that, you are different from other males. You're not attempting to impress her. Rather, you're defending yourself in advance of her passing judgment. You know what women hear when you say, "Please believe I'm different. I want to stand out, but I'm not sure how. So I'll just tell you that I do it as self-sabotage, disguised as individuality, because I'm afraid you'll think I'm simple. Don't put me in the same category as the other men who let you down." The high-value man isn't like other guys, but he won't ever say it. Instead, he will demonstrate it by being present, exercising restraint, and not reacting when other men would falter. He does this by avoiding drama, gossip, and situations where his integrity is at stake. He lets reality, not his words, reveal who he is, and the true twist, the men who say, "I'm not like other guys," usually do so because they know deep down that they're not offering anything different. However, the man who truly is rare doesn't need to convince you that he's too busy being the exception. So if that phrase appears anywhere near your texting fingers, delete it, because the moment you try to prove that you're different, you've already demonstrated that you're not thing 4. Tell me what to do to make you happy may seem considerate, sweet, and even noble on the surface. But when you peel back the layers, you'll see that it's just disguised desperation, a subtle plea for guidance, approval, and most dangerously, control from her. You've already lost your male frame, high worth, if you're waiting for a woman to teach you how to lead. Men are creating a life that is so full of power, clarity, and purpose that woman finds happiness rather than attempting to make her happy. Don't trust my own compass when you ask her what to do. Women don't want you to ask. They're simply by being in that orbit, You place the burden of leadership on her and say things like, I am how to lead. They want to feel secure in your leadership. And that kind of confidence comes from having a backbone, not from trying to please. You steer, and believe me, she will steer for a while until the pressure wears her out and she realizes she's not with a man, but rather is babysitting a boy. What can I do to make you happy? Is not a question you ask. She will never feel more drawn to you than when you stand there unflinching and allow her to be herself without allowing her chaos to become your compass. Thing 5. I'm sorry you feel that way now, but this one is slick. You become the type of man who makes her happy by being firmly rooted in your own power. Sometimes her happiness isn't your job. Sometimes it's her storm to weather. Men use the phrase, I'm sorry you feel that way, in an attempt to seem diplomatic, but in reality, they are avoiding responsibility and hiding it behind a facade of maturity. This remark is emotionally hollow. It's not about resolving conflict, but rather about avoiding it while being rational and valuable. It's not an apology. It's a polite middle finger, and women feel it. Men don't play that game. They say what they mean. If they make a mistake, they own it, not to coerce her into forgiving them, but because integrity demands it. If they don't make a mistake, they don't apologize. Instead, they calmly and firmly explain their stance and maintain their composure. This is the subtlety. The majority of males miss women are drawn to emotional transparency rather than incessant apologies. Never will a high-value guy remark, I'm sorry you feel that way. He will say something like, I hear you, that wasn't my intention, but I respect how you feel, since it's an emotionally evasive cop-out. Or, that's not something I'm going to apologize for, but I'm willing to talk about it. Women need a guy who is always firm. They don't need a man who is always sorry. That's not cold. That's genuine. Please give me another opportunity. Let's be clear. When a guy asks for another chance, what he's actually saying is, you were right to leave. Unless I plead, I'm not worth keeping. And once that energy is out there, the odds shift, and he ends up becoming the entertainer, the chaser, and the actor, trying out for a part that she no longer thinks he deserves. High-worth men don't audition. Instead, they show who they are and leave if it's not good enough. Don't get it wrong. High value doesn't imply coldness or stubbornness, but it does imply dignity. You don't need to persuade someone to love you, because the moment you start pleading, you erase the mystery, and mystery is the essence of attraction. She can't want a man who is clinging to her leg like a puppy. If you mess up, own it. Say your truth, but then go away and let her wonder and feel the emptiness, because high-value men understand that you regain power through absence rather than by begging, and if she never returns, you don't pursue her. Instead, you let her go, because a high-value man would prefer to be by himself with his soul intact than in a relationship based on desperation. This one is risky because it's so idealized. You complete me sounds lovely, but it's not. It's really a nuclear weapon concealed in poetry, meaning that without you, I wouldn't be complete. A guy giving his emotional oxygen mask to someone else and hoping she stays before he suffocates is the pinnacle of emotional outsourcing. High worth. When a man says, you complete me, he is unintentionally putting pressure on the woman to be his everything, his therapist, his muse, his emotional anchor. Women don't want to carry that weight. They want to feel your strength, not the silent plea that says, please don't leave or I'll collapse. Men don't think like this. They've worked hard to feel complete alone, and when someone joins them, it's not out of need, but abundance. Love should be a bonus, not a rescue mission. I'm already whole, but I'd love to build with you, the high value guy offers. And if this video hit you like the truth, always hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started. This isn't a channel, this is a movement. And if you're watching this, you were never meant to be average. And if she walks, he doesn't break, because he was never relying on her to stand tall in the first place.